So you're thinking about moving to Tucson, Arizona. Well, in this video, we're going to tell you all about Tucson, Arizona. We're going to let you know the things you need to know if you're thinking about moving to Tucson. And we're going to do that right now. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything about living in Tucson, Arizona, then subscribe below, tap the bell for notifications so you can be the first to know about the current market here in Tucson. My name is Trisha Kay. My partner Carter, the team and I, we get calls and emails every single day from people just like you looking for help in making their move to Tucson, and we absolutely love it. So whether you're moving in 3 days or 3 months, give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email. We'll be happy to help you make a smooth move to Tucson, Arizona. Like I said, today we're going to go over the things that are good to know before you move to Tucson, Arizona. So I made a little list of things and we're going to go over that right now. The first thing I'm going to tell you is Tucson is a good place to have a car. You really need a car. If you live in downtown Tucson or maybe by the U of A, you can get away with a bike and the bus transit system. But a lot of Tucson is very spread out. I mean, it just, the houses aren't so super close together and the businesses aren't close together. So it would be really helpful in Tucson to have a car. I think it would be a hard place to live if you didn't have a car. So that's the first thing I thought I should let you know. Tucson's about 500 square miles. And, if you include the suburbs and all that, you definitely would want a car living here. Another thing about Tucson is Tucson does not change their time. So when other states are rolling their clocks back or rolling their clocks forward, Tucson stays the same. Tucson is on, or Arizona in general, is on Mountain Standard Time, and we do not roll our clocks back. And the sun just kind of does that for us, right? So in the wintertime, the sun comes up a little bit later and the sun goes down a little bit sooner. And we've just found it best here in Arizona to leave our clocks alone. I believe Hawaii is the same way. I think we're the only 2 states that do that, but our time does not change. We stay the same on Mountain Standard Time. The next thing I'm going to let you know Tucson is very laid back. It's a very laid back town. I know it's a city, but I think a lot of us consider it a town because although it's a big city, it has a small town feel and it's just lovely. People are very kind, very easygoing. But if you're one of those people that likes to rush all around, you're going to find yourself picking up the slower pace here in Tucson because that's just how it is. Things are a little more laid back, easygoing, very kind, very friendly. And that's one of the things that I love about Tucson. The next thing I'm going to let you know is Tucson is a valley. We're surrounded by 5 different mountain ranges. We have the Santa Catalina Mountains, the Tortolita Mountains, the Santa Rita Mountains to the south, the Rincon Mountains are to the east, and the Tucson Mountains are to the west. So we're basically a valley here in Tucson, and we're surrounded by mountains, absolutely beautiful. Any which way you look, there's mountains, and it really is so pretty. But that does make Tucson a valley, and the city and the suburbs just go right up, and they're built right up to the base of the mountains, and it's really lovely. Just any which way you look, it is very pretty. Okay, our next thing is that Tucson is known as the astronomy capital of the world. The mountain peaks around Tucson have the largest concentration of telescopes of anywhere in the whole world. We have about 30 optical telescopes, including the Lowell Observatory, the Kitt Peak, the university has the planetarium, Mount Lemmon has a really big telescope, and a lot of these you can make appointments and go up and see everything. People come here to study the stars and the planets. From this part of the Arizona desert, we have dark night skies and dry desert air, and astronomers have good views of all the stars, so they like to come here. Even Rome's Vatican Observatory, one of the oldest astronomical institutes in the world, operates a research center at the University of Arizona. It came to Arizona because the Italian skies near Rome became too bright for nighttime viewing. And here in Tucson, we don't have that. We have our street lights. We have them in the city, but when you get out towards the suburbs, we have, everybody has porch lights and you have headlights on your car, but we do not have a lot of street lights along the really big streets we do, but a lot of Tucson, we don't have street lights. So we have beautiful views of the stars, just really pretty. You can see the Milky Way, you can see the Big Dipper, the Little Dipper, you can see, planets. It's really neat. We have beautiful, beautiful views here in Tucson. People that come out here to visit, they're always impressed with our star views. And it's funny because we live here, we're used to it, but it really is stunning in the night. It's just absolutely beautiful. In fact, they even limit the lights on stores. Oftentimes, if things are starting to get too bright, they'll limit it so the lighting will go behind the sign and it won't be like a lit up sign, like Target won't, all the letters of Target aren't lit up. They'll put the light behind the word Target so it outlines it. And that just kind of saves some of the sky from having so much light, from the cities and towns. So that's a good thing to know. Diverse housing. Tucson has diverse housing, all sorts of architectural styles. We have Mediterranean, Spanish colonial, we have bungalows down by the university, we have hacienda styles and adobe styles, we have Southwestern styles. There's a lot of different architecture here in Tucson. It's really beautiful. There's also some newer contemporary things kind of mixed in there. So we have just a really good mix, a really nice, comfortable feel here in Tucson. It's really pretty in its own way. It's definitely Southwest, and it's different than other areas of the United States. We definitely have our own look, and it's really pretty neat. Again, a lot of Mexican and Spanish influence here. And the next thing I'm gonna let you know is Tucson gets most of their water from the Colorado River. So the water here, we're very conservative with our water because it's the desert and we need to be, but we do tend to have hard water. We have a lot of minerals in the water, a lot of calcium, a lot of magnesium, and to some degree that's good, but this can also kind of crust up on your faucets and stuff. So some people put water softeners in their house and that helps. I'll cook with the water from my faucet, but then I get my drinking water out of the filtered refrigerator. But I do have to clean, when I clean the bathrooms, I just, also scrub on the faucets and take that off. But that is something to know. Tucson does tend to have hard water. We are conservative with our water. And because of that, I'll just go right into Tucson does not have a lot of grass. We do have a lot of golf courses. So that has grass for sure, but when you drive down the streets, it is very rare. You would be driving all day to find a house that has a lawn in the front yard. We just don't do that. We decorate with desert plants that are easy, don't need a lot of water. We use gravel and boulders and succulents, and it's very pretty in its own way. It really is. But we don't have a lot of grass here. We do have some artificial grass, and every now and again you'll find a diehard that'll put some grass in their backyard, and I get that, and the dogs love it, and the kids love it, but it's just not something we have a lot of here in Tucson. Again, we just try to really conserve with our water. So that's something that you should know. So that being said, the next thing I'll tell you is Tucson is hot. It's kind of obvious. That's why I didn't bring this one up first. Tucson is very hot in June, July, and August. We definitely are in we hit the hundreds those months, and it's hot. I will say Tucson is about 10 degrees cooler than Phoenix. I'm not sure why. Some people say it's because Phoenix has more asphalt. Some people say it's because we're surrounded by mountains. I'm not sure. But, if it's 110 in Phoenix, it's usually about 100 degrees here. So it's nice that we're 10 degrees cooler. And Phoenix, I know at night, it stays really hot at night, where most Tucson nights are pretty darn beautiful. Some in the real hot parts of the summer are hot, but we have some really nice summer nights also. So that's good. And our winters, 9 months out of the year, our weather is awesome. And we have a lot of people that come here just for those 9 months, and they'll live somewhere else. They'll live in Michigan or Canada or wherever during the cold months. And then, Wisconsin, whatever. And then they come back here for the beautiful weather, So, and we do have that 9 months out of the year. We have really great weather. That being said, there's a lot of things to do outside. We have hiking and biking, we have rock climbing, we have golfing, all sorts of outdoor activities. The next thing I'll let you know is Tucson. According to Wallet Hub, Tucson is one of the best foodie cities. Tucson's recognized by Food and Wine magazine as the top 7 up-and-coming foodie cities in America. I can tell you we already are. We have really good food here, all different kinds of food here, Italian, all different kinds. Mexican is kind of our specialty, and I'm sure it's because of our proximity to the border. We have really great Mexican food. People can just sit there and argue forever which restaurant is the best Mexican restaurant. Really good food here, though. Lots of people say that when they move away from Tucson is how much they miss the food. Travel and Leisure magazine recently named Tucson as one of the top 10 cities for food in the U.S., along with New Orleans and Chicago. So we definitely have a name for the food here. We're making a name for ourselves. It's just really, really good food. The next thing I'm gonna let you know is that Arizona has 4 different deserts. We have the Sonoran Desert, the Mojave Desert, the Chihuahuan Desert, and the Great Basin Desert. Tucson has the Sonoran Desert. The Sonoran is a subtropical desert with hot summers and mostly mild winters. The annual precipitation is between 4 and 12 inches. So we don't get a lot of rain, but we do get it usually twice a year. We'll get a little bit in the wintertime, and then we'll get like crazy buckets thrown on us during the monsoon seasons of July and August. So when it rains in July and August, it rains buckets. And then it just, it comes in and it goes just as fast as it came. That's the monsoons here in Tucson. Anyway, that's what makes us a subtropical desert, is that we get the rain twice a year. And according to OneEarth.com, the Sonoran Desert is the only place in the world where the famous saguaro cactus grows in the wild. So we do have saguaro cactus here. Now, we are not the only ones with Sonoran Desert. Mexico definitely has some Sonoran Desert. I believe California has a little bit of Sonoran Desert as well. But in Tucson, we have a lot of these saguaro cactus. So I looked up some fun facts about the saguaro cactus. I looked this up on the Desert Museum website, and there's some interesting things. I don't think a lot of people realize how tall these cactus get. These saguaro cactus get between 40 and 60 feet tall. I mean, they're really tall. I was showing the lady around Tucson the other day, and she said, "Oh my gosh, I just love these trees." And I thought it was so funny. She referred to them as trees, but they are tall, 40 to 60 feet, and they grow really slowly. A 10-year-old plant might only be 1.5 inches tall. And it takes between 50 and 70 years for them to grow their first arm when they're in the wild. When they're in someone's yard or on a watering system, on a golf course or something, they get a lot of water, they tend to grow a lot faster. But just in the wild, it takes 50 to 70 years to get an arm. So that's crazy. When the rain is plentiful, the saguaro is fully hydrated. It can weigh between 3,200 and 4,800 pounds. And they're the tallest cactus in the United States. Some have been documented as having as many as 25 arms. So those are some old cactus that have gotten some water in there. They're doing pretty good. But that's our saguaro cactus for you here in Tucson, Arizona. We have a lot of them. We have national parks, or the Saguaro National Forest, which is just beautiful. And that's in 2 different areas of Tucson. You can drive through that, and it really is stunning. It's so beautiful. It's just amazing sometimes how these saguaros can just grow out of these rocks. I mean, it's amazing anything could survive when it gets so hot and they're like growing out of a rock, and we really don't have a lot of water. So it is amazing. It's really something to see. So you'll have to check out the saguaro cactus. So those are my things that I wanted you to know about Tucson, Arizona. Again, if you're thinking about moving here, those are some good things to know. We also have a pros and cons video that tells you the good and bad about Tucson, Arizona, and that's another good one to watch. There's a lot of things on that video that I didn't mention on this video, but that's a good one to check out if you're thinking about moving here. Again, whether you're moving in 3 days or 3 months, give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email. We'll be happy to help you out. If this video is helpful to you and you wouldn't mind hitting the like button, that helps our channel out a lot. I really appreciate it. And until next time, I hope to see you around town. Bye-bye.